Hello and welcome to Planted Nutrition. My name is Luke, I'm a nutritionist, and in this video I want to talk about an incredibly important aspect of nutrition that I don't really see anyone talking about, and it's so incredibly underrated, but it can have a huge impact on our health. And I like to kind of get into this from a recent study that came out. And so what they did in this study is they had 3 different groups of young women. One group was the control group, so they drank water. And then there were 2 other groups that were in the intervention, and they both drank a milkshake. And in one group, they told them, this milkshake, it's pretty high in calories, it's not really healthy, it's not really good for you, but we're just wanting to give it to you and kind of measure the metabolic effects in your body after you drink this milkshake. And then another group, they gave another milkshake and said, this one's lower calorie, it's healthier, it's better for us, it's made with better ingredients, and we want to measure the metabolic health effects of this one on your body. And what they found was that the woman that had the higher calorie, a more unhealthy milkshake, they had a worse metabolic response. And the woman that had the lower calorie, healthier milkshake had a slightly better metabolic response. But what they didn't tell them was that it was the same milkshake in both groups. And what this gets into is that it's not just food that affects our health, but it's what we believe about the food that we eat. It can literally change our body's metabolic response to the food that we eat. If we believe something is unhealthy, it can literally make us have a worse response to it than if we were more neutral or positive towards it. So this is called the nocebo effect, and it's the opposite of the placebo effect. So you've probably heard of the placebo, and that's like if we believe something's beneficial. So in lots of studies they have the drug intervention, and then they'll give someone like a sugar pill, so it's a placebo, it doesn't do anything. And in all drug trials they have to control for this, because oftentimes if we believe something's going to work, we believe we're taking a pill that's going to reduce our blood pressure or whatever, it can actually have that effect. But in the other way, if we believe that we're taking something that's going to have a negative effect, it can also have that negative effect in our body. And I just really want to stress this, because that's something I see so much in our modern nutrition world, is that you go online, open up social media, like, don't eat these foods. The food industry is putting them in there to kill you. They want you sick. And it's like, okay, it's important to be aware. We don't necessarily want to be eating all processed foods. We want to be including more whole foods. But the other thing is, if we're eating these foods, often if they are even healthier options, but we've seen online someone saying, don't eat fruit. Fruit's full of sugar. It's going to spike your blood sugar and it's going to give you diabetes. Or don't eat beans or legumes. They're full of lectins. That's going to poison your gut health. It can be easy to be confused, but with fruit, there's a huge amount of research. People that eat more fruit have better health outcomes. But if we believe that it's unhealthy, it might be having a worse health effect in our body. And so it's so important for us to be aware of this and look at our relationship with the food that we're eating. If we're going through life being afraid of going out, being afraid of going to our friend's house, being afraid of different meals, it's going to be having a worse effect on our health. Maybe from the nocebo effect, as we've talked about in this study, but also from the stress and anxiety that comes around that as well. And some good strategies for this is, first of all, if you follow people on social media that are talking about foods being toxic and dangerous, it could be a good idea to unfollow those people. Because if we're constantly seeing things that are like triggering this or bringing it up for us, that can be really damaging to our health, our mental health, our relationship with our food. Because it's important to understand that it's what we do most of the time that impacts our health. It's not what we do sometimes. If we eat a chocolate bar one night, but we ate well for the rest of the week, that's not going to have a bad impact on our health. If we go out to dinner with friends and we have a donut for dessert, that's not going to ruin our health. it's probably not really going to have any impact on our overall health. Our health is created by what we do over months, years, and decades. It's not about those things that we do sometimes. So you could look at it like that, like the 80-20 principle, focusing on 80% of the time, focusing on more fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, legumes, whole grains, whole unprocessed foods. And 20% of the time, chill out, go do whatever you want, enjoy your life, because life is short and it's important to enjoy our life, nourish your soul, do something that feels good once in a while, because we can also really become quite restrictive around that. And then we can stop enjoying our food, and it's really important we all eat every day, and if we can enjoy and have a good relationship with our food, that can make a huge difference throughout our life. And another really good strategy for this is like getting in touch with your values. So what are my values? I want to feel good about the food I eat. I want to enjoy my food. I want to have some freedom around food, that I'm not feeling stressed or anxious and I can go out and eat with friends, for example. And then in those moments when something does come up, when we are feeling triggered or anxious, taking a moment just to stop, taking a deep breath, grounding ourselves in the present moment, and then we can make a choice, remembering we always have a choice. So maybe in the past we would have been afraid, we would have said no, we would have kind of shut down, but now we can be more open with that. We can make a choice and be like, okay, well, this is the person I want to be. I want to have more freedom with my food, and actually I know I've been doing so well this week. I've been eating super healthy and feeling really good, and I can enjoy to have a dinner with my friends, for example. And then you can fully be present with that and be in the moment and enjoy it and feel really good. And then you can continue with what you're doing the next day. And it's not necessarily super easy to change this, but it is possible. Our brains are what are called plastic, with neuroplasticity, and it's our neurons' ability to change. And even if there are patterns that have been there, by bringing our attention and presence to the choices that we make and connecting them to our values, we can make positive change over time. And I just love to finish this video stressing this again, like our relationship with our food is so important, and there's so much damaging and really harmful and unhelpful information out there on social media. So really be aware of this and make a conscious effort to move in alignment with your values. Enjoy your food and enjoy your life. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you are needing some further support with this is the work that I do with my clients. I offer a free 30-minute health consultation, which you can book at the link in the description. And there's always option for further work with that as well, with more psychological tools and strategies to help with our choices and our relationship with food, and just general understanding of the principles of health, so that we know what we're doing is good for us and we can feel really good and confident and empowered in the choices that we make around our food. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. See you in the next one, and stay healthy, my friends.